How's it going, everyone? Jesus here, aka Tyrant Dominus, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about Anchor. Anchor is the one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. And best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. Honestly, Anchor is a very enjoyable platform to be on, listen on, and just a joy to be a part of this community. Anchor, come check us out. And welcome back to another episode of Reactioncast. Once again, we're going to be talking about Invincible for this mid-season discussion. And here's the weird thing. So I ended up watching the first 3 episodes like I normally would. But I kind of did a little research knowing that if you heard my first impressions episode a little bit ago, it should still be listed below. But I only watched the first episode there, but then after I was done recording it, I watched the 2 additional episodes to watch the first 3. But like I said, I did a little research knowing that this series is only going to have roughly 8 episodes, so it was going to be weird to kind of do it in this method, but either way, it kind of works out, because the first episode alone was pretty good, just kind of doing a brief introduction to the world and the people around it, and then literally like murdering a lot of people, like the main crew. But I'm glad I kind of let my thoughts kind of release for the first episode, because going into episode 2, 3, and now episode 4, there's a lot of development that's been happening. So for having the first 4 episodes fully out at this point for half the season, there has been a lot of development as far as multiple different storylines. So what you're getting now is basically Mark's rise to find himself as a hero, or if that's what he truly wants to do. On top of that, still trying to figure out his high school life. He's still a teenager, so he's still trying to figure things out with his quote girlfriend's fingers quotes out there. Because he still has to juggle. I think his dad mentions that he has to juggle between home and work, and things like that. So he has to figure things out like that. In episode 4, his mom kind of hinted, in a sense, like he has to decide what kind of hero he wants to be. And I think within these 4 episodes, from beginning his idea to begin his journey to be a hero, and then what that truly means, because there was a lot. I think it was in episode 2. Yeah, episode 2, when the alien, was it the alien invasion? I think that was the alien invasion. He kind of finally realized, oh, yeah, people die. This is the reality. And it hits him hard, because the first kind of person he rescues ends up dying. It's a real thing where you have to kind of take into consideration, like, yeah, not everyone gets saved. And you have to really, like, take that into heart, The next storyline you're gonna watching is the Omni-Man and the GDA, the Global Defense Agency, where Cecil, the head of the GDA, is trying to figure out who murdered the Guardians of the Globe. To then, there's only one suspect, and we get introduced to a very interesting character named Damien Darkblood. The demon. It's really funny. The demon detective, and you get this whole thing where they're kind of basically investigating that yes, Omni-Man was the only survivor who else had the potential to murder everyone? Yeah, you know, and that's where you also kind of get the fracture a little bit, or friction, that's the word. The friction between him and his wife. He's already been antsy a little bit. He's been very determined in stating responsibility. This word responsibility has been coming out of his mouth for the last couple of episodes since Mark got his powers. And for anyone who's already read the comics or watched a YouTube video explaining kind of where this show's going, you already have an idea. I myself only got a brief glyph of what was going to happen, but I didn't go any further because I kind of want to see the full totality of what's going to happen in this season fresh. I kind of want to have a fresh take because for the most part, it's pretty already standard comic book-ish, so I already know kind of an idea of what's going to happen, but I kind of wanted to let it sink in the way they portray it. The other thing now is the new Guardians of the Globe, and that whole dynamic, because you got Robot, now the new head, trying to do all the whole, trying to create a new, not create, well, at the end of episode 4, he's creating something, but he's in charge of the new Guardians, and he's trying to figure out everything to figure out, you know, what's gonna happen, because you have Rexplode, who kind of fucked up because it's like this whole dynamic. They're all like teenagers in their mid-20s except one, because you got now this whole thing between Atomic Eve and Rexplode, who are having, basically they broke up because he literally was having sex with, or cheating with, what's her name? Kate? Duplicate? Yeah, that's her name. And then you got some other interesting members of the new team are kind of like, what's her? Great Griffin, the resizing Shrinking Ray. Shrinking Ray. See, Cape Payton, the Black Samson, the depowered hero. Oh, that guy, the one of the original members of the Guardians before he lost his powers. I want to know a little bit more backstory on him. It'll be interesting. And then you have, what's the name of the monster girl, who has an interesting story too. Like, her powers literally de-age her, which is interesting. I wonder how that's gonna go. But basically, yeah, it's gonna be interesting seeing where this is gonna go. But most, like I said, we already have an idea where things are gonna head. But it's interesting to see Mark's trying to figure out his teenage life, his superhero life, he's kind of been ignoring his parents for the most part. Not like the surrounding, like some of the things, like kind of like teenagers do, just like scoff on things. And Nolan's been heavy on trying to hide the fact that he did murder the old Guardians of the Globe, and trying to like deceive everyone, except Cecil kind of figured like, we know he did it, we just can't prove it, and what is he planning on doing? And then the whole Guardians of the Globe, the new ones with Robot, I have a feeling I know what he's doing, but it's getting weirder and weirder. So I know I want to see what's gonna happen with there, because at the end it's gonna like correlate everything. It's probably gonna end the season with some weird, like, okay, this is what happens, and wait until next season to resolve it, which would suck, but we'll see. But yeah, so pretty good. I'm enjoying it. There's a lot more angst than I thought there was gonna be. There is for sure a lot of drama and stuff that for sure is crazy than I never expected. But yeah, those are my thoughts for the mid-season. Anything more I want to think about? No, that's about it. Yeah, he's just very inexperienced and things like that. We'll see how Mark takes in being a hero and living a normal life is going to be. So, thanks again for watching. or listening, depending on what platform you are on. Until next time, see ya.